consumers. Okay?
Because
there's a lot of small things that can
Alrighty.
further advance you by a great distance. Okay. One of the first things I'm going to cover on is guanxi. Guanxi is a Chinese word for relationships. Now I'm sure Ms. Lowe already went on that relationships are important in timeshare as well. But in Chinese business, relationships are even more important. When you're talking about 65 to 70% of your conversation should be personal. No business. Nothing business related. Friendship, family, talk about your kids, your spouse, your loved ones, talk about you growing up, ask about them. No business should be involved. You should briefly cover on why they're here and say, let's not even talk about that. Tell me about you. That should be about 65 to 70% of your conversation.
Can you speak louder?
Okay. That should be about 65 to 70% of your conversation. Okay? With the Bahama project coming in, more and more Chinese are becoming more aware of the Bahamas and the Caribbean. So I'm sure you've seen a recent increase in numbers in Chinese tourists coming to the island. Okay? Now, you should always reveal personal details about yourself. You know, make them feel friendship, trust. Without trust, there's nothing. Nothing will happen. You won't know. I'll further go on to that, but trust is very important. So you have to show things like, it's a little secret of mine, or, you know, this me. Just what I do, tell me about you. Make it seem as if the deal goes sour, you're still friends. It doesn't matter. This don't have to happen. But we're going to be friends after this. We're going to keep in contact. That's important. Polite conversation. When talking to them, one important aspect in Chinese culture is keeping face. I don't know if you ever heard of this, but what it is basically you cannot embarrass your client in any form, shape, or manner. Now, Chinese customers are a bit more sensitive than Western customers in the fact that, you know, we could joke around and say, oh boy, you putting on weight, or, you know, oh, you look bad, you know, a little joke here or there. Be careful on that. Be a bit more sensitive to them, you know. Polite conversation, don't try and tease them in any way, because they won't say anything. You just, what the deal's already gone. It's sour already. You can keep talking for hours, it's already sour, but you embarrass them. You have to keep face. Mainland Chinese, be important. You have to know your geography. Mainland Chinese, Beijing, Shanghai, and all of mainland China is not the same as Hong Kong, Macau, and other Asian countries. Hong Kong and Macau people are a bit more westernized in the fact that you can be a bit more laid back and doing the normal style that you guys have. Japanese people are a bit more like mainland Chinese people. This is more focused on mainland Chinese. Alright? Koreans, similar to mainland, but you can still be a little more laid back. Not as laid back as Hong Kong people. But mainland Chinese are the most, you have to be the most cautious of what you're doing. One thing you must ask the client, did you eat yet? Very polite conversation. Because during a time with the Chinese Revolution, when communism was coming into place, they had starvation across the country. So thousands of people died from starvation. So what in Chinese culture now, they say "Chifalama," which means, did you eat yet? That's how they open the conversation. So that's important. Did you eat yet? It makes them, you know, subconsciously they feel more at ease. Chinese, mainland Chinese like to feel, one thing they strive on, they like to feel that they're classy. Make them feel lovely. Make them feel, say, some comment, oh, you have great manners, or, you know, they love that. They wow, you know, they flourish on that. Make them feel, oh, you carry yourself so well, you know, they love that. It's an excellent compliment. One thing I must say for the males, keep touching of the females to the minimum. In our culture, it's okay to touch the shoulder and the arm and the hair. Unacceptable. Unacceptable. They won't say anything. You see a little. They won't. Oh, don't touch. No, they won't say anything. But disrespected. Keeping face. You lost face. Quick facts in conversation we should jot down. Make the Chinese love to know that you know a little bit about their country. They're very full of pride and my country is great. Right? This is the year of the dragon. This is the time when the most children are conceived. So that could be a small joke. You can incorporate that all the time for you guys to make a child or, you know. This year of the dragon, I think it's every 12 years. You know, it's an animal for each year. It's the year of the dragon. That's when the most children are conceived normally for thousands of years. The ambassador, for the Chinese ambassador to the bomb is Hu Dingshan. Just write that down. Oh,
spell that.
H-U-D-I-N-G-S-H-A-N. I don't know, you might want to, that's Pinyin, but you might want to put your pronunciation or, you know, you might forget. Yeah, Hu. W-H-O, Hu. Shan, right. S-H-A-N.
Ding is one word.
Pardon?
Ding is one word.
Who is one word?
Who is one word?
Dingshan is one word.
Ah.
So who first? That's the last name what they put first. Then the second name is the first name. Dingshan. The last name comes first. Then the first name. The Chinese New Year this year is the 23rd of January. And depending on where they're from, it's from 7 to 15 days. So, you know, you just put that in. Oh, the Chinese New Year just passed, right? 23rd of January. Oh, light right up. What you know about China? You know? Wow.
Is that every year?
No, this just for this year. It changes every year. But if you look online, you could just type in Chinese New Year. You'll see what next year will be or whatever. Another thing you could add, you could just third party story. I'm in Beijing. Oh, they love that.
Oh yeah.
They have a baby.
And we use that too.
often.
We use that.
Yeah.
Your ears must ring.
Thank you, Daddy.
What?
Yeah.
China, he lives there. Right?
Yes.
Oh,